My name's Adam Monaco and I'm the Financial Controller for Hi-Tech Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at Hi-Tech Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. Hi-Tech Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
On today's show, we head over to Europe and to the southern Spanish city of Malaga as we bring you all the action from round 3 of the FIM Superenduro World Championship. This is Speedweek.
Put your best shoes on to see what it's all about. Put you're never gonna lose on. Yeah, you make me wanna shout out. Shadow and double quick, rocket to the moon. Yeah. Systematic, I'm automatic.
Hello, I'm Cristóbal Guerrero. We are here in Malaga for the Superenduro World Championship. Saludos, vamos. Okay, here we go. The first corner to left. Double wheel, single wheel, turn right. Double, locks with the rocks. Turn right and start the rock section. Double with the locks. Turn right on the matrix section.
First up, the Aquapovic Super Pole. We've had qualifying earlier on. It's established 7 runners to fight it out for the top spots. There are points awarded for the Super Pole session as well. 3, 2 and 1 point for the top 3. And also it gives the pick of the gate when it comes to the first and third finals. The 7 riders that we'll be seeing: Manuel Lettenbicker first, then Johnny Walker, Alfredo Gomez, the local, Teddy Blasusiak, Colton Haker, Billy Bolt and Cody Webb will go last. And for information, Cody Webb was 1.5 seconds faster than anybody else in that qualifying session. That is Manuel Lettenbicker. He doesn't ride as part of the official KTM team, but he is working as one because we've seen him in the Super Pole session on all 3 occasions so far this season, in Poland and Germany, and now here. He locks the front suspension. Some of the guys were trying earlier to start without the front suspension locked, because there's so much traction from the tarmac, from the earth that's been laid down here. It was very wet earlier on when they watered it at lunchtime, but now, in the heat of the evening, it's dried out and it's like concrete. But it's concrete that's malleable enough for tyres to bite through. Lettenbicker fires it out into the first turn. This is not timed as yet. We've got to get round to the start line before we get the time and the clock running. But he just needs to get into a rhythm of things. 33.6 was the time of Cody Webb in qualifying. Said it was a super pole lap that he did. Therefore, that's what we kind of are expected to see. Track has, of course, slightly changed since we did our qualifying session. And Lettenbicker's clock starts running. You can see how lacking the track is with traction. The rear end really sliding around. He picks the inside line. That looked like my favoured line. If you can stay within track limits, he does so. And now through to the much more flowing second section of the lap. 17.8. It's about a second and a half slower than where he'd want to be. Doesn't quite get the power down and the landing right through the first of the big jumps, and now the second technical section at the end of the lap. Not quite as hard, this rock section, but he goes through and finishes with a time of 37.8. That is, I reckon, quite a lot slower than where he'd want to be. Next up then, Johnny Walker had a torrid qualifying session, just couldn't get a lap down. Kept finding himself in traffic, and also the nemesis was the matrix section for him. Some very high, big logs on the matrix section, but you want to keep the momentum because you want to get over the stones after the matrix. For the moment, he goes into the lap then. Nearly falls off the track before even the hard part begins. This is where he fell earlier on. He chooses the left side, and now the center of the rock section means a tighter turn through there. Seems to get through it, and it's going to be a better time than Manuel Lettenbicker. That's much more competitive. A 16.2, I think a 16.0 is what we saw from Webb in the practice session. Now to the second of the technical sections. Picks the middle of the road. It's much more smooth than it was, but you can't stay in the middle because of that big lump of rock, and a 34.6. Much faster than Lettenbicker, and that could be tricky to fight. Walker should be happy with that. Have a look through that rock section then. There's a loose rock in the middle of it. Just slam the bike down on the sump of the engine. They look pretty good through the second rock section. Next up, local man Alfredo Gomez. This is how the full crowd have come to see. He won here last year and will be desperate to do that again. Didn't look particularly balanced through the first jump, which was a bit surprising. He picks the right-hand side, which is where we saw Lettenbicker. Looks better, puts a foot down, but it widens that part out, and he's able to double the logs. This should be very fast then. Yep, breaks the beam as fast as Johnny Walker, as his teammate last year. He's moved across to the Husqvarna brand this year, so they can balance out 3 and 3 of the Works team. Now, much further to the left through the second rock section, then cuts to the inside, but it's slower. 1.8 seconds slower than Johnny Walker. Blasusiak is the next man to go. There is Johnny Walker. Should be pretty happy with that. Looked very good in the early part of the lap, didn't he? But it was the second half, this stone section, choosing the left line, I don't think worked for him. And that's where much of the time was lost. You see Blasusiak goes to the center of the road and then cuts to the inside. Oh, actually just goes to the outside of that really high rock we saw Colton Haker on our Facebook Live get stuck on. Not a lot of traction through the hairpin, and momentarily Blasusiak losing the front end of the bike. Oh, he gets flicked off the bike through the matrix as well, but the strength that he has holds him on, just about stays on the pegs. Oh. Huge whip. He knows that the time's gone, I think, already. Half a second down on Walker. Now he's putting on a show for the crowd. He really is attacking those very fast jumps at the back of the course into the technical section of the second half of the lap, and it's a great second half of the lap. Half a second slower than Walker, and it was all lost at that first corner. He looks at the time. Yeah, not that happy, I don't think. That was where he first got kicked off the bike. Kept the momentum, though. And it was really the first hairpin where he lost the front end momentarily. Right, Colton Haker, world champion in Super Enduro from last year, has not had the same form this year with his adversary Cody Webb in the championship. What can he do here? Very tentative through the first hairpin. But it looks pretty smooth in the matrix, cuts across the track so he can double up at the end of the matrix. Very nice work, but it's so slippery. There's no traction on the hairpins. Fires it into the berm at the outside of the third hairpin just to carry the momentum. He's up on Walker, chooses the left line. That's where Gomez went wrong, I think. Comes to the line, and it's not quite enough. Walker holds on. He was so smooth through the matrix, was able to double at the end. And then look, trying to get the power down a bit wide there. Not so much traction. And I think it was the second half of that where he really lost it. What's Billy Bolt going to do then? The Husqvarnas have chosen the left line. Bolt is having a look now to see which line is better. He chooses the inside line and then runs to the outside. That is what we saw from Blasusiak. Now, very slow over the line. Didn't carry a lot of momentum from the previous lap. Chooses the left side in the matrix. Seems to have the momentum and able to double, but goes very wide. Does that mean he gets more speed? It's the same kind of time that we saw from Colton Haker in the first sector. It's all about the second sector, though, really. It's where Walker was strong, and Bolt goes to the middle ground. I think that's the preferred line. Oh, but he's got kicked off the bike. Oh, what a mistake. The rear wheel digs into the rock, and it's going to be game over for Bolt. He comes over sick, and I tell you what, considering what happened to Johnny Walker in the qualifying session, he's going to be mighty happy with at least 2 points and a baby bore. Oh, it was a messy, messy rock section from Billy Bolt, kicking himself with that. Here's Cody Webb then, fastest man by a country mile in the qualifying session, but that time mounts for nothing now. Much more momentum carried under the start arch then. Needs to be careful through there, but lovely little drifts, carried loads of speed through the first hairpin, and now doubles into the rock section, keeps his feet on the pegs. Now he drops a foot off, but he's going to be mightily faster than anybody else. Oh, look at that, 1.5 seconds faster, and he's only in the first sector of the lap. Now he just needs to keep it tidy. Doesn't need to do any heroics. Goes to the left-hand side. That wasn't the fastest line. He might lose some time, but I think it's still going to be good enough for the pole position. Cody Webb, he loses 0.7 of a second in the second sector, but he's still 0.7 faster than that man, Johnny Walker. Yes, congratulations, Cody Webb. It is a KTM 1-2. Look at that, beautiful from Webb. Beautiful through the first hairpin, beautiful through the matrix. And even though he lost some time in that second rock section, it was still wild. Cody, after 16 seconds of the lap, you were 1.5 seconds up on anybody else.
Yeah, I had a really good line to the matrix there, and I you know, Taddy did too. It got a little wild, but I did a couple more times in practice, and I just jumped in and was off my line. I just leaned back and wheelied, and I got lucky. I'm not going to lie. It was a ditch effort, but that's what the Super Pole is all about, just putting it on the edge and seeing if you can ride it out. And a little bobble in the rocks, but, you know, we stuck through it, and really happy to get those 3 extra points.
Now, in Germany, you didn't pick the perfect line into that first corner. Where do you think the good line's going to be here? You know, it's tricky. I think the second gate might be the best. The first one on the inside kind of it's not a straight line all the way to the first turn, so we're just gonna, the long one is gonna be sketchy, but you know, we're gonna fight strong and keep our elbows sharp so no one takes us out, hopefully. A perfect way to start, congratulations. Thank you. The juniors are lined up and ready for their first final of the evening. We've already had qualifying, which put Emil Juszak, the pole on the pole position, the fastest man. Here is the championship standings. Watch out, the 71, Kevin Gallas, the German. He's taken 4 wins out of 6 races so far this season, with Carl Flanagan, the South African, in second. Ignacio Fernandez, the local Spanish rider, was second fastest in qualifying, and therefore lines up in the 10 on the inside line. Who's going to get the whole shot? The first corner is that left turn, and it's Kevin Gallas who flies into the lead. You have to slam on the anchors so early. It's so slippery, but Gallas has got the whole shot. Juszak in second position, just managed to jump past, I think, Leon Henschel, who wasn't able to double the first jump. It's quite a traffic jam further back. So there is Kevin Gallas, and Juszak was challenging, but I think got stuck through the rock section. After 1 lap, Gallas, Juszak, Will Hoare up to third position, David Ciprian in fourth, and then Carl Flanagan, there he is in fifth. And there's a little gap to the 77, Leon Henschel. A few guys we've not seen here before, including David Ciprian. He's a Frenchman, sorry, not a Frenchman, a Czech, who he's seen racing in the Enduro GP, the Junior Championship, but we've never seen him in the Super Enduro. What a lead Kevin Gallas has got already. This is very characteristic riding from the German. It's exactly what we saw last time out when we were in Germany. He was able to clear the field and then kind of pace himself after that and watch everyone else around him make mistakes. Emil Juszak, the pole behind him, has also had a win so far this season. Only 3 men have taken victories. One of them, Matteo Cavallo, isn't here, only did the first round. Kevin Gallas, Emil Juszak, the other 2. Gallas with 4, Juszak with 1. He won the second race in Poland, which is a reverse grid race. But he was able to get the fastest time in the 8-minute qualifying session that we broadcast live on Facebook Live. So if you're not part of our Facebook channel, then make sure you subscribe, because that's where you can catch all of the other action that isn't here on superenduro.org. Blue flags already flying for some of the slower riders. As we said, we've got some newbies in the field from Spain, Gerard Sala Garcia and Justo David de la Rica, and they were quite significantly off the pace in the qualifying session, and therefore already after just 3 laps being lapped, there is one of them. Gallas has a clear advantage over Juszak. Neither seem to be challenged that much, but this is where the back markers come into strife for the leaders. If one of them gets stuck in the wrong position in a rock section or in a matrix, it forces the leader off to a different line, maybe a line that doesn't work so well. And you can see Gallas is now being forced to the right-hand side to clear this traffic. He's managed to do it. Just puts a foot down. So controlled. There is the second place rider. And then is that Will Hoare? It is Will Hoare just coming out of the hairpin. Ooh, very nearly caught the front fork on that landing. Juszak just ahead. The gap is about 2.5 seconds. Ooh, Juszak being caught by the back marker there again. 80 is Will Hoare, and here is the pass. Will looking to the inside line. Can't quite find a way through there. But he's threatening, isn't he? Getting very close. It's the 77 of Carl Flanagan, who is in 4th place, but he's a long way down, yet to get across the finishing line. Oh, Will Hoare's got stuck in the matrix as Juszak clears the rocks, the first of the rock sections. And does that mean Carl Flanagan might actually pass him? He may well do. Flanagan was 23 seconds off the leader. 13 seconds back from Hoare. I'm just trying to see out of my commentary position whether he's managed to clear him or not. Not quite. Meanwhile, Juszak losing time to Kevin Gallas. And again, being caught out a little bit by the back markers. That's Ignacio Fernandez. He was so fast. Oh, and now he's dipped the front wheel, and this is where the problem occurs. If you get stuck in the matrix, it's really hard to get yourself out. Does a good job, though. Strength, being able to lift that front wheel out. Oh, he goes over again. This time it's going to hurt. Ouch! And Will Hall goes round the outside and into second position. But there's a bit of a traffic jam there. Shaq's only lost one position, thanks in part to Gerard Salah Garcia being stuck in the rock section broadside. Nobody else can get past him for the moment. One minute remains, plus one lap. There is the 80 of Will Hall, now into second position. 14 seconds back. The backer shot was Emil Yushak, just getting through the rock section. He is in third position. But for the moment, no sign of Kyle Flanagan. Flanagan not sporting his purple that we saw last time out, so he's a little less recognisable out on track. In fact, that guy just in front of him in purple. And that's David Ciprian, who we have not seen so far here in the Superenduro Championship, causing a few headaches here for Emil Yushak. Oh, and Yushak's not even able to clear the jump. Yushak has managed. That wasn't Yushak, was it? No, that was Theodore Kabashiev. Will Hall then through the rock sections. Holds on to the second position. And then Yushak and then Flanagan. Much closer now between those riders as Ciprian goes for a fall in the matrix. And Will Hall stuck in the stones, and that is Yushak back around the outside of him for second position. And now he gets stuck on the matrix. Where's Kyle Flanagan, the 77? Stuck, I think, in the rock section. We're now on to the final lap. Yushak into the stones once again. Kevin Gallas is already on to his final lap. There he is. No problems, no mistakes, not troubled by anyone. Beautiful over the faster Supercross style jumps at the back of the circuit. Now into the stones for one final time. He keeps his feet on the pegs. Oh, not quite. He's lapped Kyle Flanagan. Oh, he's lapped up to fourth position with dominant performance from Kevin Gallas. Flanagan goes past as the man that was first lapped, which means only the front three are on that one lap. What a job from Kevin Gallas. Waiting now for second and third. There must be quite a long way back around the lap. There is Emil Yushak, and I think he's ahead again of Will Hall. Hall did not recover from being stuck in the matrix, and Yushak takes second spot. Yep, he's happy with that. And now we wait for the final rider, Will Hall. He can't lose any more positions because Flanagan's already past the finishing line. There is Will Hall then, and he comes across the line to take third position. Not a bad result from Hall, he'll be happy with that. Kevin Gallas then takes victory, 30 seconds ahead of Emil Yushak. Will Hall 50 seconds back, and Gallas's performance was so good he lapped his championship rival Kyle Flanagan, who finished in fourth position. An absolutely wonderful performance. Local man Ignacio Fernandez in fifth, Paul Barry in sixth, and Leon Henschel rounds out the top seven. Kevin Gallas, though, is the victor. Kevin, just like we saw in your home country, Germany, a dominating performance from the very get-go.
Yeah, I had the best night of my life in Germany, as I told you, and I worked hard. I worked every day with my training partners, Blake Goodside and Alfredo Gomez. Thanks to them, thanks to my team, I'm on point. I think I'm in the best shape of my life, and I think I show it.
What was the secret? So certainly the whole shot was very important.
Yeah, I had the fifth gate pick only because there was a lot of traffic. I worked hard on my starts. I had good starts in Riesa, and I know they're key today with a long start straight. And yeah, looking forward to the next one.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
the first final for the Prestige riders. We've already seen the front 7 in qualifying. There is a very chilled out Cody Webb on the far inside line with Johnny Walker beside him. Teddy Blasusiak, Colton Haker looking chilled as well. Alfredo Gomez, Manuel Lettenbicker, and on the outside, far more fired up, Billy Bolt on the 57. This is how the championship looks coming into this weekend. Cody Webb ahead of Blasusiak with Billy Bolt in 3rd position. Colton Haker only down in 4th. Alfredo Gomez, Manuel Lettenbicker and Johnny Walker a disappointing 7th at the moment. One big news though, no Dan McCanny here for Gas Gas. The Works rider injuring himself at the British Enduro Championship last weekend, and therefore in his place David Knight, MBE. Knighter is back in the Super Enduro Championship that he took victory in a long time ago. He's also Enduro champion a few times over. But in his own words, he's not match fit. He's tried his hardest, but honestly, this track is really, really tricky. There is the starting list, and a couple of Guerrios at the bottom that we've not yet seen in the Prestige finals. Victor, especially, he's never quite made it through. Confirmation of David Knight in 12th, Ben Herrera, and the rest of the guys you might be more familiar with. 4 riders for the Spanish crowd to cheer on. Juan Pau Segura, Alfredo Gomez, and then Cristobal and Victor Guerrio on the Yamahas. The bikes fire up then. A very tricky surface for these riders to get used to. It's almost like riding on complete concrete with their knobbly tyres. It's not biting in any longer, and the start is incredibly tricky down into that first left-hand hairpin. A minute creeping, who's going to get the whole shot? Colton Haker's got a good start, but he doesn't quite have the inside line. He squeezes Cody Webb, and Webb's only coming out there in 4th position. Billy Bolt from the outside line is up into 2nd, nearly takes out his teammate. Some of them going very direct through the hairpin. Oh, and Billy Bolt takes Colton Haker into the lead. One of the Yamahas doing very, very well. Couldn't quite see who that was. I think it might have been Guerrio. Oh, and Colton Haker falls. He's on the inside line. He's going to have to let everybody go past. And I'm not quite sure his bike's fired up. Now it is. That's an absolute disaster. Lettenbicker now leads. What a massive turnout. Sorry, Bolt leads by a country mile. Didn't see Bolt. He was so far ahead. Bolt, then Lettenbicker, then Walker. What happened to the Yamaha that was so high up? It was Guerrio. It was Cristobal Guerrio, who's already fallen back down to something like 6th position. Well, that is unexpected. Complete turn up for the books. There is Lettenbicker in 2nd position, the best of the KTMs at the moment. Ahead of Walker, then Webb. Blasusiak is in 4th position. That looked like a mistake from Johnny Walker. He held on to position as the KTM squabble over 3rd position. But I'll tell you what, Cody Webb did not think he would be down in the position he is at the moment. 5th spot, big gap then to Cristobal Guerrio in 6th. And actually, Colton Haker's already up to 7th position. Gomez is there as well. Oh, frustration for Colton Haker. He's only taken 1 victory this season. Bolt has also had a victory, let's not forget, in its first weekend in the Super Enduro World Championship in Poland. And at the moment, he's on for his 2nd, but he's being closed down by Lettenbicker, who tries to double up at the exit of the rocks as Walker gets caught, as does Cody Webb. And that, I think, has put Blasusiak up into 3rd position now. Coming up to traffic already, it's the younger, inexperienced Victor Guerrio, who kind of parks it on the outside of the circuit, lets them all through. Amazing to watch these guys as they were trying to qualify, really struggling with this matrix section. Look at the mess that the leaders have got to try and pick their way through that matrix. Oh, Billy Bolt nearly comes off the bike. He does come off the bike. Lettenbicker's into the lead. He's trying to recover. He's dropped the bike again. Disaster for Billy Bolt. Drops behind Walker, drops down to 5th position. And now it's Lettenbicker who's got to try and pick his way through the traffic. Past David Knight. Now Ben Herrera is the next man through. Oh, and Blasusiak forces Lettenbicker wide. They collide, and now Blasusiak leads from Webb. It's all changed. This is frenetic stuff. Lettenbicker's down to third. Walker's down to fourth, and Lettenbicker makes another mistake. We've got bikes all over the place. How has the leaders got through? They haven't. Blasusiak's to the outside. Webb got stuck on the rocks, and now it's Johnny Walker in the lead. Walker leads from Webb, and then Lettenbicker. I can't believe I can't keep up. We've still got 2.5 minutes left of the race. The traffic has caused major issues. Let's calm it down for a second. Let's find some rhythm. Oh, Ben Herrera's in the way now. That's caused issue for Johnny Walker. Here comes Blasusiak to the inside. Walker just about holds on. Sees the yellow flag to the left-hand side, though. Somebody's in the matrix section or the rock section. They've cleared it. Blasusiak on the outside line cannot make it work. Doubles up, though. Still struggling to find a way past Johnny Walker. Oh, he sends one up the inside. Oh, that's very, very impolite from Blasusiak. Contact between Blasusiak and Cody Webb. Webb goes into the lead. The Works riders are getting physical with each other. Blasusiak drops down to third. Walker up to second, and somehow Cody Webb has now got a massive margin. Worth pointing out, by the way, if you look at the left-hand side of your screen, Blake Goodsey, 5th position for the Yamaha rider, ahead of Colton Haker and Alfredo Gomez and Billy Bolt. That's amazing. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Take that, says Johnny Walker. Back up the inside of Blasusiak. Exactly what Blasusiak had done to him the lap before. Now Walker, can he chase down Cody Webb? For the moment, Webb has clear track ahead of him. No back markers to get in his way. And when he gets into a rhythm, if he can get into a rhythm, he should be all right. But he gets stuck in the rock section. He goes over the handlebars. Here comes Walker as Blasusiak goes down. Side by side between the two of them. The two KTM teammates. Walker has to double up over the first of the tyres. Oh, look at that. Look at not getting onto the right rhythm has cost Johnny Walker, and somehow Cody Webb has held on. I cannot believe the chaos that has ensued here in Spain. Absolutely mental, and we've still got 2 laps remaining. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Proper traffic jam here for Cody Webb. Where does he go? He goes to the left-hand side. There is a back marker there. He switches. He nearly runs him over. He nearly drops the bike. Here comes Johnny Walker. Can Walker go through the inside? I think he might do. Blasusiak's there. Walker's into the lead. Cody's down. Oh, my God. This is just incredible. Johnny Walker, he hasn't picked up the last lap board. He needs to survive one more lap. This is the most mental prestige race we have seen in Super Enduro for a long time. Oh, and he's stationary. The back markers are fighting. Blasusiak and Webb have got stuck. Webb has managed to recover. Webb's up to second. Blasusiak yet to come across the line for third, so he's still in the rock section. And can Johnny Walker now hold on? Blasusiak now across the line. He stays in that third position. Here comes Johnny Walker then. What a race, what a performance. A huge battle of attrition. There were elbows out between the teammates. And now just one little rock to clear. It's Johnny Walker's victory in race 1. What a battle. Cody Webb in second position, and it's a KTM orange wipeout with Blasusiak in third. And what are the words going to be between the teammates? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Here they are. Oh, I'd love to hear what they have to say to each other. What a race between the three of them. I think they enjoyed that. I really think they enjoyed that. There's smiles on all three of their faces. And Johnny Walker gets the customary victory lap. The results then: Walker, Webb, Blasusiak. Lettenbecker held on for fourth. Billy Bolt down in fifth, the early leader. Alfredo Gomez in sixth, and Colton Haker a lap down in seventh. What pain for the American. Blake Goodsey dropped to eighth in the end, and then the back markers that were causing such issue rounding out the 14 riders. The first victory for Johnny Walker this season. What a hard-fought one that was. Johnny, congratulations. What a hard-fought victory. It looked like you enjoyed that one.
Yeah, that was good, you know. I've been struggling with injury, but I feel like I'm back from it now. I've been working hard, so yeah, to fight with the top guys like Cody and that, you know, it felt really good.
And a bit of a block pass on your teammate a couple of times, and he did it to you.
Yeah, you know, I was enjoying it. It was good, you know. We weren't too hard on each other, but he came in on me, and I was like, oh, if I'm close next lap, I'm just going to do the same. So did the same to him, got the lead, and then that was it, really. Must have been pretty hard to keep a consistent rhythm with so many back markers falling in front of you. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I didn't actually know what position I was in. I was just pushing as hard as I could. And yeah, to take the win when I came over the line, I was surprised, but, you know, super happy. A great way to kick off the season now. Thank you. The second final of the juniors. And in case you wanted any more chaos, we're going to reverse the grid and put the 7 slowest riders at the front of the field. It means that the slowest of our riders, Gerard Garcia, has the pick of the lane in the number 3 bike. Gregor Cargill, number 61, will be at the front, as well as Justo De La Rica, Paul Barry, Theodore Kabachiev, Norbert Jossa, and Diego Herrera. All of those riders not hugely experienced with leading from the front. Let's see how they get on going into that first turn. Already victory, dominant victory from Kevin Gallas, but he's going to have to pick his way through the traffic in the early stages of this race. Not a bad start from Gallas. He's going to have about half a dozen bikes in front of him. And a little bit of chaos through the first turn, but everyone seems to be on their pegs. And it's the same leader again. Oh, for one corner, because Tibor Kabachiev is down and desperately trying to get his bike up. We've got another guy who's fallen off the side of the circuit at the back, a shot as well. Kabachiev for a moment led and then lost the front end on this very, very slippery surface. It's getting worse and worse as the bikes use it as well. It's almost polishing. And it's a Herrera who leads into the matrix section for the first time. Diego Herrera, younger brother of Ben. Slow though through the stone section, and I think Justo De La Rica Rodriguez is now into the lead. I may be wrong though, I am wrong. It is Emil Juszak, the leader. Sometime second position in our first race. There's now a huge advantage over Diego Herrera, and he'll want to scamper away because Kevin Gallas there in the middle of the shot will be working his way through the traffic. He's not having the best of times though, is he? There he is. He's going to come across the line somewhere around 5th position. He's stationary once again. Might lose a position to David Ciprian then. Comes over the line in 6th position for Kevin Gallas. Already riders stationary on the track. We've just had also all sorts of chaos in the national races earlier on as well. But a nice comfortable advantage from Juszak here. He took victory, as I said before, in the second final in Poland. So he's no stranger to leading from the front. And this is kind of exactly what he did. What he now needs is to make sure that not too many people get in his way. Look at the lead he has over Diego Herrera. Where is Herrera? Hasn't come to the line yet. He is about to come to the line. And he is now pursued by Gallas, who's about to dive to the inside up into 2nd position. So Herrera down to 3rd. It's Norbert Jossa in 4th spot. And then David Ciprian has just come across the line in 5th. What about our sometime championship leader after the first weekend, Carl Flanagan? It's a dreadful start. Flanagan's down in 11th position. And could well be nearly a lap behind. In fact, he's just come past me, so he's 36 seconds back, Flanagan, in 9th spot. Disaster for the South African. This is not going his way. Meanwhile, championship rival Kevin Gallas, a strong, fit gentleman, as he said in the interview after race 1, been training with Alfredo Gomez and Blake Gutsit. And it looks as though he might find a way into the lead here. Bit more back markers to get past before he closes down the 8-second advantage he has, disadvantage he has, sorry, on Emil Ushak. There is Ushak through the stone section, gets a little bit loose, a little bit squirrely, just about stays on his bike, using his feet to help him. What kind of gap is it now? He crosses the line, and back a shot there is Kevin Gallas. Kevin is closing. It was 8 seconds. Now it's 5 seconds. Whoop, just comes off the circuit momentarily. And into the matrix once again. Norbert Yosha is now in 3rd position, but the gaps are so huge. He's 20 seconds back, just across the beam now. He's hold on to that. And Diego Herrera, sometime early leader, is dropping down the pack. He comes across the line in 5th position, 32 back. Chaos in the stones. Oh, there's Carl Flanagan. Oh, he's blocked the circuit. Gone straight across. And he's gone into Rodriguez de la Roca. Oh, who flies off his bike. And it's side by side for the lead, but they're both stationary. Oh, no, he's completely in the way. What's going on here? Riders pushing each other. We're going to have them fighting each other as the front two are side by side, and Gallas goes into the lead. He slides his way into the lead. Emil Ushak down to 2nd position. But for a moment, I thought that there were 2 riders there about to punch each other. Flanagan was parked on top of Rodriguez de la Rica, and there was all sorts of pushing going on. So a change in the lead, and the whole stadium length now between Gallas and Emil Ushak. God, the German really, really is so strong. Oh, little mistake there. He's got the subcourt on a rock, but so is Ushak stationary. The pole can't capitalise on the mistake from Kevin Gallas. Being blocked past by a rider who's a lap down is not very good when you're in 2nd position. Ushak being dive-bombed by Kabashiev. Even if Kabashiev is a lap back and actually trying to make up some time at the moment through the matrix, Kabashiev is faster than Ushak. There is our leader, Kevin Gallas. And now he can really get into that rhythm that we saw him in Germany riding, just so chilled and relaxed. No fast lap times, no big air, just kind of stationary, but he just doesn't look quite in the same rhythm as we're used to seeing. A couple of mistakes creeping in, and I just wonder whether this track is really causing the riders some fatigue. Look at how it's polished up down there. Do you see it? It's almost like the rubber's been laid down, like you see on a racetrack, on a tarmac racetrack. Crazy when this is supposed to be dirt, but it's packing down so heavily. It's really solid. The top 3 then, Kevin Gallas, Emil Ushak and David Ciprian doing a great job in 3rd position. Now past Norbert Yossa. And Norbert is in 4th spot still. There's all sorts of bikes strewn across this stadium here in Malaga. Blue flags do fly, but they're kind of useless when you've got people so out of control. Here is Ushak just going through shot. He's miles ahead of David Ciprian, so he's got no problems at all if he's going to accept the fact that Kevin Gallas is going to scamper away for victory. Oh, he's down on the ground, and he's on our cabling. And behind, I think Ciprian was going to try and capitalise. No, Ciprian still hasn't come across the line. Now he has. Ciprian's 36 back from Kevin Gallas. That is miles behind. The checker flag flies though. Kevin Gallas takes victory once again. And that was kind of surprisingly easy. Again, he has lapped up to 4th position. Only the top 3 go through. Although Norbert Jošak thinks he's taken the flag. My timing screen says he hasn't. And in fact, he will stay though in 4th position because Diego Herrera has taken the flag. Jošak has come across the line in 2nd position. 30-odd seconds before Ciprian comes across the line. Jošak lost something like 20 seconds. There is Ciprian in the purple. First time in Super Enduro for him. We've seen him in Enduro in the juniors, and he takes the flag to finish 3rd. Not a bad result, considering this is his first weekend. He looks up at the timing screen, and is he happy? Oh, I think he should be. Well, normally the juniors are the ones that cause all the chaos. Normally they're the ones that have just an amazingly frenetic action. But in comparison to what we saw from the Prestige boys, that was quite kind of tame, wasn't it? Kevin Gallas, maximum points here so far in Malaga. Can he do the clean sweep like he did in Germany and take all 3 victories? For the moment, he takes the applause from the crowd. And what a result for the German. He heads to me, and let's have a quick word. Kevin, of course, the grid made it more difficult starting from row 2, but you still had a massive advantage over the checkered flag.
Yeah, it was. I took a gamble to the right because I saw there was a pile-up in the first one on the inside. Didn't pay it off. I think I was like close to last. And worked my way through the pack. Awesome moto. I feel energized and looking forward for the 3rd one.
There was a couple of little errors that crept in halfway through the race. Is that fatigue? Is this track really tough?
Yeah, the track is really tough, and you know, all these rocks are moving, and the dirt on the edges of the jumps, it's really loose. And yeah, just made a couple of mistakes, but in the end, I'm happy with my riding.
So the track really is developing. You can see that's rubber laid down in some of the hairpins.
Yeah, it's like some flat track racing. I wish I had supermoto tires on some areas, but yeah, I think the track is really good. Made for some good racing. You have a lot of lines to choose. There's some carnage, but you know, that's junior class and you have to deal with it. And yeah, looking forward to the 3rd one.
Can you do the clean sweep again?
I hope so. I know I can. I did it in Riesa, so I'll do my best.
Good stuff. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
So Kevin Gallas then, victory in final 2, 22 seconds ahead of Emil Jošak, with Ciprian picking up 3rd spot, a good result for him. And then the rest were lapped. Norbert Levente Llosa, Diego Herrera, Carl Flanagan finished 6th by the end, ahead of Will Hoare, who finished 3rd in our first encounter